And we are live. Hello and welcome everyone to another exciting set from the King of Ireland tournament. I am Tech Cherry and I am pleased to bring you LichKing versus Hydur. So LichKing is a Russian player and Hydur is an Italian player. They are both in the Silver League in terms of seeding. Hydur calculated at 1376 at the time this tournament began. And LichKing or LichKing calculated at 1324, so a little bit of an ELO advantage to Hydur. But this tournament has been full of upsets, so we will see what happens. In terms of civilization draft, Hydur selecting the Ethiopians, the Persians, the Lithuanians, the Magyars, the Mongols, the Malians, the Koreans, and the Burmese. And Bartholomew Diaz, kind of a random default name here, selected for the LichKing. He picks Britons, Tatars, Poles, Chinese, Mayans, Italians, Berbers, and Spanish. Britons and Persians are sniped at the end. The first map of any set is Irish Arabia, so let's begin. In the top quadrant of the map, we have the LichKing playing as the blue Berbers. And in the bottom corner of the map, we have Hydur playing as the purple Ethiopians. Of course, Irish Arabia is different from traditional Arabia in that the woodlines tend to be further away from the town center. There tend to be more of these woodlines and they tend to be thinner. This means that in the early game it is easier to wall scouts out. However, archers can range every villager across the woodline. For maps, it appears that the LichKing has back berries, side gold, and kind of a forward stone, and his secondary stone is over here. So if Hydur can control this area, perhaps with a few towers, it could be difficult for the LichKing to take stone and build fortifications, necessary to hold back siege. Hydur has an extremely forward gold. This is very unfortunate for him. And he also has forward stone and side berries. The good news for both of these players, especially for the LichKing, is that it may not be too difficult to wall to the edge of the map from here. Walling to the edge of the map would secure these back woodlines and, in LichKing's case, secure this gold as well. These players are relatable to me. They're around my ELO, so it's always fun to see what they do. Both have a very low amount of town center idle time. LichKing is sending 3 out to wood for now. We'll have to monitor the amount that he has at this lumber camp because that will tell us if he is going scouts. Hydur will probably not go scouts. He's got 3 on wood so far and is beginning his wall off. So Berbers versus Ethiopians. This is... what's the word I want here? This is a classic example of extreme civ differences and like extremely different approaches to the same map. We see Hydur selecting the Ethiopians thinking, okay, I'm going to make archers, I'm going to range all these woodlines, I'm going to snipe villagers taking wood, and it's going to be fantastic. There will be nowhere that he can hide. And the LichKing saying, well, I know that my opponent can wall this map off and prevent my scouts from getting in and doing damage, but I could always just raid him to death in the late game given how open this map is. So we'll see which one prevails. So far, I think we've seen more success from the Berbers versus the Ethiopians. I think Berbers have a pretty good win rate against Ethiopians so far on this map, but we'll see what Hydur makes of it. Even the slightest differences in build order can make a huge impact. Both players with 4 seconds of town center idle time. Let's check how many Hydur has on wood. Hydur only still has 3 on wood. So he is either going for some really fast man-at-arms, which I guess is possible. Okay, barely manages to kill that boar on time. And the LichKing has only 3 on wood as well. So I think the LichKing is going scouts. I would be surprised if Hydur, as the Ethiopians, went scouts. I suppose it's possible, but it does not seem likely. Now, let's see if the LichKing has scouted Hydur. No. He has scouted his own base thoroughly. Did he find all of his sheep? I think he did. And it looks like he's maybe coming out here to build a second lumber camp. Hydur, however, scouting the LichKing. And let's see what he knows. Is he going to run into enemy town center arrow fire? No, he's just scouting the presence of some deer here, but he does not know much about his opponent's base. So he's going to continue to go around and look for resources. Both players getting loom around the same time, and they're actually getting loom at, interesting, at 20 pop. They are both housed. Let's see if they click up immediately after this. So LichKing finishing loom, queues up a villager, and then realizes I don't have the pop space. Hydur has feudal age on the way. So Hydur is going up at 20 pop. He's building a barracks. He's transferring a bunch out to wood. And this looks a lot like a scouts build from the Ethiopians. That could be very interesting. I mean, come on now. I mean, really? 20 pop scouts for Ethiopians? I just can't believe it. Okay, so LichKing is idle now. He's got 40 seconds of town center idle time. This is kind of rough for LichKing. He does click up to the feudal age. He wasn't really under any pressure either. It could just be first game jitters. I get those too sometimes.
Azul.
Okay, so Hydur on the prowl. Scouting out the back of his opponent's base. He has not found this gold yet, although there are 4 tiles right here. I don't know that he will. So we have 2 militia coming out from Hydur. So Hydur going up on 20 pop, 2 militia. I don't think that's enough militia to justify getting man-at-arms. But he's going to get the resources for man-at-arms for free in just a few seconds here. So maybe he'll get it anyway. Let's see. So the Ethiopians get some extra food and gold upon reaching the next stage. And is he going to get man-at-arms? Doesn't look like it. He's going to go on to gold now. Hydur has been walling off his base. He's walling to the edge of the map here. But he's not quite fully walled. And LichKing could still get in over here. So Hydur needs to be careful. LichKing will reach the feudal age pretty quickly. And then maybe Hydur will react to that. Yeah, Hydur is going to more aggressively wall this area. However, he is back here picking on a villager. Ooh, is he going to get a villager pick? Hydur gets a villager pick, and this scout now under attack. He needs to micro this back. Comes forward with the militia, and he is here to harass the wood line. So now he's got his drush all together. And okay, so the reason he doesn't want to fight is because he's getting man-at-arms. No! Hydur, no! Don't donate the HP before the man-at-arms upgrade comes in. He needs to cancel this man-at-arms upgrade. He practically has 1 man-at-arms he's getting it for. He's not going to cancel it, though. I know I wouldn't. Okay, what does the LichKing have? The LichKing has a barracks, and he has a stable. So LichKing is making scouts, and he is planning on scout rushing Hydur. Hydur putting up a range here. This is not going to be fast enough. However, there is a spearman out. This spearman could keep the scouts at bay for now, but he wants to get this closed off before the scouts can get in and do damage. He also wants to get in and do damage, though. It looks like there was a fight over here. Some militia went down, and it looks like LichKing did lose a villager to that. Eco KD 0-1, and this scout is almost dead, so he's basically just good for scouting the map now. So, Hydur, okay, queued up an archer. Starting to go archers. He really needs to just wall across the edge of the map right here. And then he'll be good to go. He's walled off here. He's walled everywhere else. And LichKing kind of struggling with the build a little bit, it looks like. First game jitters. Did he make any more scouts? It doesn't look like it. He may have used his scouts to fight off the man-at-arms up here. But perhaps sensing that his opponent is fully walled and deciding it's not worth it to make any more scouts. Hydur was going to send everybody to build this barracks and decided to just build it with 1 villager. So in terms of idle town center time, they both have roughly the same amount, 40 to 52 seconds. More buildings coming down from the LichKing as he is seeking to wall this area.
Ow.
So Hydur getting fletching now. Where are the archers? Here they are. So we got 3 archers moving out. Let's see what they can do. LichKing has one scout in his stable, which he has just ejected. I don't think this scout wants a fight. No, he's just swarming. He's just, well, not swarming, but he's just moving around the map, keeping vision everywhere with the scouts. It doesn't really look like he's trying too hard to get in. And Hydur is going to try to find some damage with these archers. Now, if LichKing recalled all of his scouts, he could absolutely kill these archers here. Looks like he's going to partially fight now. The scouts have 2 pierce armor, and so he's not even going to get that villager kill, because there are still too many archers. And just walks right in, Hydur does. So LichKing is going to see that. LichKing is not on gold yet. He is on this wood, though, and that's not far behind it. So he brings his scouts back, 1 scout. This other scout keeping an eye on this movement. And he could lose a lot of villagers here. He needs to be careful. Microing against the scout. There is a skirm out here to deal with this. And LichKing can't fight that anymore. And these archers should just batter down these... Yeah. Should just batter down... These villagers should batter down the archers. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. What do we got? So we got LichKing just picking off reinforcements. That's smart. Wouldn't have thought of that. And... Looks like we lost 1 more villager for the LichKing. Oh, don't tell me that's going to be 3. No! Okay, this lady is going to go down. More archers are in. This hole, very unfortunate for the LichKing. Under-invested in stable units, I think. Getting wheelbarrow now. I don't know where all of his res is. Should be pretty close to clicking up quite soon. He does have skirmishers. I guess he's spending his res there. And that's a 6th villager goes down for the LichKing, so it is not looking good for him. He needs to get out of here. These archers are taking a toll. All that Hydur needs to do is just sit on this gold. Just camp this gold. Get up to the next stage. There's nothing scouts can do against crossbowmen. Even if the LichKing gets to the next stage, if he can't take gold, he's in big trouble. But Hydur back here, he's found the other gold, of course, and doesn't want the LichKing to go onto that. He didn't see the LichKing was over here, so maybe he thought the LichKing would come back here to take this gold. These archers are going to be an absolute nuisance. A real thorn in his side. And a 7th villager goes down to these archers. Well, 6th, and not counting the villager pick-off that the man-at-arms got earlier. Hydur using the market a little bit, selling some stone for gold. So Hydur probably not planning on booming, or if he is, he's going to build his town center on stone first. I think he just wants to get castle age now. Feels like he's done a lot of damage, but he needs the next age to clear it out. This deer goes down to these arrows, and he's going to try to take out another villager, but there are a lot of skirmishers here. The thing about making this many skirmishers is that you get stuck in castle age. There's a lot of food that you can't spend aging up. But it does kill archers. Like, if you have archers in your base killing your villagers, that's probably more important. So Hydur does click up first. LichKing will not be too far behind him, all things considered. But 7 villager kills is a pretty big deal. Okay, so what do we got here? Okay, so Hydur going on stone now. Well, this doesn't really make much sense because he sold some of his stone. He doesn't really need to build that there. He could build a town center there, I think, on a stone if he really wanted a deposit place. So we got some weak archers out here for Hydur, but it doesn't really look like he's making more archers. He's got 1 range. All right, he is making more archers. He's got 1 range, and he's going to have a 6th archer here. I almost think maybe going on stone here is for show tells, but I just don't know. Okay, what do we got? Nope, 2nd range. So he's doubling down on archers. So we know that Hydur is going to make more archers, and I think these 2 villagers here are just so that he can put town centers down anywhere and boom while he's going archers. I don't think a castle is in play. There's Because if it were, then he would have a lot more on stone. So getting Bodkin first, that's smart. He needs to get Crossbowman too. Where is that? Okay, that's cute at the other range. And Hydur is in a commanding lead. He's killed a lot of LichKing's villagers. Okay, LichKing reaching Castle Age. And this is where things could start to turn. I mean, Hydur did the damage. He took advantage of these really terrible wood lines. In this case, he took advantage of the fact that it was completely open here. The LichKing didn't wall it properly. But this map is open. And so now LichKing could turn things around if he's able to raid Hydur. Let's see if Hydur is going to build another town center. I don't see one yet. Archers moving out across the map. Okay, so we got knights versus crossbowmen, but Hydur is ready. Ethiopians get the pikeman upgrade for free, so here he is with some pikemen, following along the archers. But this is a big group of scurbs here, and these scurbs counter everything that Hydur is making. So he needs an answer to these skirmishers. Ethiopian crossbows are not going to do it. These skirmishers counter pikemen, they counter crossbows. And LichKing has knights streaming out across the map. So can he counterattack Hydur and do even more damage? So I think an archer goes down here. Hydur taking this seriously, walling behind these palisades. Does not want these knights getting in, and who could blame him? Build another house here. So LichKing is adding a second town center here. We got pikes en route. Now these pikes could beat these pikemen, but there's no reason for them to. There's no advantage gained from killing these pikemen. It's just a few measly resources, and he doesn't even get in to massacre eco units. So it doesn't make sense to take this fight. It's just a sacrifice of health. And somehow... Oh man, LichKing still has not buttoned this up yet. And these crossbows come in. If you're Hydur, you don't even fight this. You just come to this gold and you just kill as many villagers as you can. You know all of your crossbows are going to die. And they're taking javelins left and right. He's going to pull them back. Where are they going? He's only now getting thumb ring. These are all going to die. No ballistics either, so they can't really fire very fast. But Hydur has gotten 11 eco kills on LichKing, so he has an 8 villager lead after factoring in town center idle time. University coming up for LichKing, and LichKing is somehow in on Hydur. Kills 1, 2, 3 villagers. Map is brutal for raiding. It's a very open map. And pikemen missing it. Coming back to the town center. These pikemen should be over here. And where's LichKing going, though? He could totally be punishing this lumber camp right here. This is a bad lumber camp. Hydur needs to get out of here. I don't think he saw it. Okay, he's responding to these knights over here. And Hydur could very easily lose his villagers on this side. He's not careful. Okay, Hydur massively on stone now, recognizing the importance of fortifications. But LichKing evening out the villager count. LichKing is back in this game, you guys. Hydur trying to get this house up here, prevent these knights from getting in. Build stone walls, you guys, for crying out loud. I know that nobody likes stone walls, but if you're a non-cavalry civ, if you're an immobile civ, you need them. And this woodline is going to get hit again. I think this is LichKing's game. He's got so many knights in here, and Hydur can't be everywhere with his pikemen. Equaling it out, the Eco KD is even now. LichKing with an 11 villager lead over Hydur. These knights diving the town center, killing villagers under the town center. What a Titanic. Just because LichKing gets in. Knights are headed out. Build stone walls. So I think what happened was there was either a hole here or a wall here that got destroyed, and then the knights got in. That would be my best guess. Hydur microing around with these crossbows, but these knights will surely clean all this up. You can't go back in this way because the LichKing will see him. And there are more than enough knights here to kill these crossbows. These knights have +2 as well. So these crossbows are pretty vulnerable. And are these crossbows going to go down? Are they going to get sandwiched by these knights? This is not a good position to be in for Hydur. The skirmishers are on this side. There's a mangonel rolling forward. So Hydur is going to... The good news for Hydur is he's going to see all this coming. But he is about to lose all of his archer mass. Hydur pushing out across the map now. Where are these villagers going? He has enough for a castle. Is this going to be a drop a castle to get me back in the game? Oh, those rarely ever work. We'll see if he can make it work. I mean, Shotels could be really amazing for raiding purposes. And Hydur does know where a lot of the LichKing's resources are. Yeah, he's got excellent scouting. But he has an army here that he can't deal with. He does not have the pikes to deal with this army. He needs to take this army seriously. There's no amount of castle drop that's going to make this go away. This mangonel is going to come right forward. It's going to maybe even pressure a wood line. It'll probably destroy this archery range or this barracks and then push in. Maybe the mangonel will sit right here next to the deer and take shots at the gold. This is a pretty forward gold after all. Yeah, I think that's what LichKing's going to do. Can the mangonel not reach? Yes, it can. So now Hydur has a mangonel on his gold. And that feels bad. So castle drop from Hydur. We got the quick gates coming up. Needs to quick wall here too. He does. But that also means that there's a gap here. So this castle will take the LichKing off of this gold. But that's about all it will do. Then the LichKing will go back to his primary gold. Or let's see what other golds the LichKing knows about. He could actually take this gold. Hydur's gold. He doesn't, or this gold here. So Hydur been taken off of gold now. His forward gold being punished by a siege weapon. Siege weapon with 7 range. Towers have a base range of 8. So a tower would have a little bit more range, but doesn't throw rocks like a mangonel does. The LichKing is on his way to the Imperial Age. And what have we got here? We've got Shotel warriors in on the LichKing's eco. So this is going to hurt. I mean, if the LichKing garrisoned this town center, he could kill the Shotels with arrow fire. But the town center is also going down. And Hydur needs a lot more Shotels. He does have more in this castle to make this work. As soon as this castle, or as soon as this... Oh, this is his imp TC. Oh, no! This TC is not staying up. That's a disaster for the LichKing. This... He's gotta repair this. The villagers flee. Shotels should hop out and finish this off or pick on some villagers. And the LichKing's Imperial Age is going to get cancelled here. And Hydur is going to take this gold instead. Oh no! Now, the LichKing still has a 30 villager lead over Hydur, so I don't expect the Hydur to work a miracle here, but this is a nice little comeback play here. Shotels in on villagers, very good at killing villagers because of their high attack, but because of their low health, they die to knights pretty decisively. He needs pikes in there as well. LichKing getting foraging and getting husbandry now so that his knights are even more likely to be everywhere. Looks like there was an overchop. No. There was a building destroyed over here, and the LichKing is in on Hydur's eco. There are pikemen, but there are simply not enough pikemen. And I do think that Hydur is going to call this pretty soon. Okay, so the LichKing clicks up to Imperial Age now, builds a Castle Age here, and Imperial Age is now being researched from the back town center, the safest one. He does not want to have to do that again. And half of Hydur's eco is idle, and his villagers are being, his lumberjacks are being butchered, so it's only a matter of time before he calls the game. These skirmishers, they do not have any armor, so they will still die pretty quick to town center arrow fire. But the damage is done. Hydur's at 30 villagers to LichKing's 78. More crossbows and shotels moving out. See what kind of damage they can do. Can Hydur deny this castle? Did he even know about it? Oh, he just... yeah, I think he knew about it. Some kind of quick wall here from LichKing. Shotels are in on the farming eco, so this is going to hurt. But I don't think he can do enough raids to stay in this. Still, some skirmishers and a knight from the LichKing keeping Hydur from taking wood back here. Hydur has 0 on wood, and so he calls the GG. Sees the writing on the wall, but that was a very entertaining game for sure. Hydur with a big advantage early on, but I feel that he just didn't play defensively enough. He let the LichKing get in here. He needed more stone walls. He had secure stone. He could have built a castle defensively. He could have teched into some more pikemen, some more stone walls, made some more town centers, but he wanted to go out with these crossbows, knowing that there were knights out on the field that could kill them pretty easily. So I do think that the decision of unit composition, what Hydur did initially worked really well. He was 7 villagers ahead. He was totally winning this game. But then the LichKing came back and punished Hydur for his choice of military composition on this map, I think, and the fact that Hydur only recently built this barracks to make pikemen from. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But definitely a very entertaining game for sure. And we always love to see Shotel raids. So I'm really glad that Hydur did that. So we're going to give the first win to the LichKing here. And we will move on to the next game in the set, which is Hydur's home map of Terra. So, here we are. We got Terra. We're paused at 0 minutes. And we have Hydur on the left-hand side playing as the purple Magyars. And we have the LichKing playing on the right-hand side as the blue Poles. Terra is a unique map in that it is an Empire Wars start. Now, technically, from a game mechanic perspective, the only thing that Empire Wars does is it makes the villagers automatically tasked to the nearest resources. It doesn't produce all these buildings here, so these buildings will be placed regardless of whether or not the Empire Wars option is enabled, at least for now. I could update the map so that it doesn't always place buildings here like this, but for now, this is what we got. So, Magyars I've seen a lot on this map. This map has a unique mechanic. There is a gold drain. These monks are guarding relics. The gold drain on this map is equivalent to 3 relics, and as long as you don't control a queen, you will always lose that gold. So how do you offset it? You capture some of these relics that the monks are guarding. But these are powerful monks. They have block printing, redemption, theocracy, atonement. They can convert other monks and siege weapons and such. So they are really, really powerful. The way that I envision people would play this map is they would kind of build up an army and castle drop the center and sort of work their way downward and snag relics from either side of the monks. But we've seen some pretty creative strategies on the map so far. We see that Hydur has some scouts. Yeah, so Hydur is going scouts, making more scouts as the Magyars, and he wants to scout rush his opponent. Scouts are popular, and already we have a scout in on this gold. But the reason that Magyars are popular is because they'll just go into scouts. They'll say, oh, you know what, who cares if I'm losing gold? I'm going to make units that don't require gold. So the Lich King here with some spearmen, though, guarding his gold. But Hydur gets this attack upgrade for free. He could potentially kill this spearman. There are 2 spearmen he's got to worry about, though. And LichKing is being forced to make a stable of his own. Both players are tied at 37 villagers. And have similar amounts of idle time. LichKing with 30 seconds and Hydur with 16. Oh, disaster, though. These scouts were not attacking. So I'm rooting for Hydur to win this so that we can see a 3rd game. We have a full work here. That's interesting, though. The full work is kind of on top of the berries or interfering with the berries. I've never seen poles on this map before. So it's kind of interesting to see how the full work interacts with the berries. It's a little bit bigger than the traditional mill. Hey, Ronald Rage is in chat. Says, Hydur destroyed me with Britons on Arabia. How did he lose? Also, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Ronald Rage. So, Hydur lost the first game. You can go in and look at the recording. Hydur, I think, got greedy with the damage that he did to LichKing, and he assumed that LichKing could not come back from Hydur killing 7 villagers before LichKing was ever Castle Age. And then LichKing went into Knights, and Hydur just made the wrong units against that. He kept making crossbows, and when he was attacked, instead of prioritizing building stone fortifications like stone walls and towers and castles, he went and dropped a castle on his opponent and made Shotel warriors, which was very entertaining, but probably cost him the game. That is my omnipotent assessment. Okay, so Hydur still making 2 more scouts. Let's see here. He's got 1 stable. Does he have another? No, but he is walling off here. And he's building a market now, so it looks like Hydur is interested in maybe using the market to go up to the next age. But he's continued to make scouts, and the Lich King is already on his way to Castle Age. He did play well against you, for sure. But Hydur may be a little bit... He may be even greedier than Tech Cherry. Oh, no. So, Hydur has killed these villagers and spearmen guarding this stone mine. Oh, he needs 1 more doink. He needs 1 more doink, and he gets it. So he picks off the villager. You know, Hydur has killed 3 villagers with the scout rush. Like, it's no joke. He's done damage, for sure. But the Lich King is going to be Castle Age first, and Lich King will be able to make knights. And that'll be pretty scary. Lich King also taking gold in the center. And you got to remember that for every 2 villagers that you have, or sorry, he's taking stone. For every 2 villagers you have on stone as the poles, it is as though you have a free relic without having to go to the center and fight these monks for it. So poles are still quite broken, but nobody cares because they're a new civ, and so you want people to buy the civs. And they will fix them later once people realize how to play the poles fully, or once the civ is fully understood. I wouldn't claim to understand the civ better than others, but having a free relic for every 2 villagers you have on stone is ridiculous. And Lich King is building a castle on the stone, so he's kind of following the meta that I envisioned. And he is getting Bowsaw. Hydur is researching Castle Age now, just finished some of his ecotechs, adding a 2nd stable, and we'll see what Hydur can do. Maybe Hydur will come down here and challenge the monks, but the monks are quite powerful, so he's not really in the position to challenge them just yet. The monks do have 12 range, too. So I bet Lich King is just going to send 1,000,000 villagers to stone here and then take no gold the whole time. Yeah, he doesn't want to get close with these scouts because the spearmen are guarding the castle. Scouts moving toward the gold, though. Lich King does have a lot of pikemen out. Hydur with a 5 villager advantage for now. And this needs to... Yeah, he needs to not fight this. Looks like he just wants to dive and get villagers. So this tells me that Hydur has written these scouts off. He's going to do something else. He does have scouts left in his stables, though. I agree with that too, Ronald Rage. Sicilians can build castles in like absurd situations that nobody in the Middle Ages would ever have been able to build a castle under. I mean, it's already kind of a stretch that you could like build a castle while there's an enemy tower overlooking the area. Could you imagine the Middle Ages if your enemy said, "Hey, we're going to build a castle right here," even though you have a tower with a garrison defending this area? It didn't happen in the Middle Ages, and it probably shouldn't happen in the game. Oh, what's this? Oh no! LichKing losing a knight to the monks. Making the mistake of getting too close. Fleeing, terrified. Yeah, these monks are powerful. Okay, so what's Hydur going to do with this castle age? He has killed an Obuk in his base, but surely LichKing isn't going to be going more Obuk. I guess he's got 2 more. Obuks are good for dealing with infantry, I think. And units... They're good at stripping armor off of units. Like Obuk Arb is a pretty good combination from what I've heard. LichKing building another stable. Hydur getting light cav, he's getting the 2nd armor, and I think it's going to be more raids from him. What have we got here? It's just a lot of privileges, so millions of cheap knights for the Poles. We'll see if he can keep up with all of that. I think he just wants to take the stone and spend the gold on really cheap knights, and we'll see how that works out for him. It's working... He is working on the gold over here, too. So, Hydur adding a 2nd town center. LichKing's 2nd town center was on the stone. So, Hydur does not really have control of the center of this map. And that's kind of a problem for him. He spent his time and effort picking off villagers, and LichKing now has a villager lead. Number 1, because of Hydur's... A little bit because of idle time, but also just because LichKing has been on 2 TCs longer. And these spearmen are not going to last against light cav, but we got a raid on LichKing's gold, and it looks like we've got an Obuk here, and some villagers are going to go down. Looks like LichKing has already lost 7 villagers to this raid.
Gotów jestem.
And Hydur raiding LichKing's woodline now. These knights... Doesn't look like these knights are losing armor. I think these light cav are losing armor. I can't tell in Capture Age. I don't know if Capture Age just doesn't show the mechanic properly. Okay, so Hydur with some more knights. These knights, of course, get the free attack because Magyars. And LichKing is still taking stone in the center. But now Hydur has a pretty decisive villager advantage over LichKing because of that raid. So LichKing kind of playing a little bit more passively. I feel like, where's the aggression, LichKing? He's got a solid strat. It looks like there was... Wait a second. Plebcaster missed it. Was there a failed castle drop here? That could explain the villager advantage as well. Okay, so here it is. So... LichKing coming across, looking for some damage. Is there a hole in this woodline? I don't think so. Each of the trees on Terra contains 350 wood, so it is harder to overchop. Hydur taking this seriously, walling behind. And another raid on LichKing's gold over here. He has built a defensive castle, and he is putting up a town center here, but these knights are going to find that. Is he going to get the town center up in time? Yes, he will. Some villagers will go down. Okay, Hydur not making the same mistake again this time. Stonewalling behind. He's got production of knights from 2 stables, and he has 1 town center. He needs to stonewall here and here as well. And I think Hydur is going to win this game just because he's stonewalling and his opponent has no walls at all. He's all over him. So Hydur has gotten 23 villager kills and LichKing has only gotten 4. So I think LichKing has a better strategy for sure. He's just not able to hurt Hydur. Hydur learning from last time, I need to make sure that I prevent this guy from killing me, because my economy could get raided, and that's nothing to sneeze at. Now, having said that, somehow LichKing has broken in, but Hydur does have a bunch of knights here to chase him down. I don't know. I think the house here went down, and so Hydur is stonewalling behind that. Villager goes down for Hydur. And LichKing wants to get out now and pick off that walling villager, but Hydur is chasing him. So 29 eco kills to 8 eco kills. So approximately a 20 vil advantage to Hydur in terms of eco kills. And LichKing trying to get out, but this woodline is closed, so Hydur is going to win this. So Hydur continuing to make 2 stable knights. He's on 2 town centers, so 2 town centers, 2 stables. Using up all the gold in the bank, though. Not in the bank, but using all these gold mines all over here. LichKing taking advantage of the Polish bonus, taking tons of stone, building castles, but not stone walls. So what's next? Hydur deletes a section of wall or a building and sends his cavalry out. It's going to be another hit on LichKing's gold. So the gold drain from simply not having a queen is equivalent to 3 relics. Neither player has picked up any relics yet. Monks are quite powerful. They're just going for each other. Two waves of knights here, both about 10 knights apiece. And once again, LichKing's gold is going to get hit. He will see these knights coming, though. He's got vision, and yeah, they're bailing. Now the knights are going to take the LichKing off of gold, and LichKing's gold income is still going to increase because he's got 21 on stone. Ronald Rage says, I didn't place a stonewall foundation the first year I played, now I know the way. Well, it's situational. And Hydur are just going to dive this town center. Magyar Knights with +2 armor, +2 attack. Feeling confident enough to attack the town center. Oh, no. Okay, he's going to rip through the full work farming eco instead. Not interested in an honest fight against other military units. Just here for the genocide. LichKing, oh, look at that. LichKing cutting that off, though. He wants to force Hydur to fight. Hydur adding a 3rd town center up here near this gold. Hydur is on his way to Imp. Then, yeah, fighting doesn't make sense. Wait for Cavalier. He's trying to get out. Lost about half of his troops. And 2 castles from the LichKing to keep his eco safe. I know it looks really safe, but I think he would have been better off with stone walls, just stonewalling along this edge. LichKing with a castle drop now on Hydur. This is a mistake. It didn't work the first time. Hydur's going to see this and eject all of his knights. And then they're going to kill villagers. If Hydur sees it. Hydur does have a ram prepared. Come on, Hydur. See this. Is he just going to let this go up? Must have been distracted. No way would I have let that go up. LichKing building another ridiculous Polish castle everywhere. And Hydur has ejected now, but he can't stop the castle. So he is going to get Cavalier, though, and he will get the final armor, and he needs to keep these knights on the move until those upgrades come in, and then he can go and he can probably literally dive castles with them. They already have the attack. They got the attack for free. Don't think this castle can break into Hydur's base fast enough. The Obuks are here. Obuks, if they do damage to the armor, it doesn't show it in capture age. Hydur needs to keep this stable up, though. This stable is what's researching Cavalier for him, and it's going to be close. Is Hydur going to lose Cavalier? Oh, Hydur lost Cavalier. That's the disaster. Cavalier takes forever to research. He does get the armor in, thankfully, for Hydur. But that hurts. That's really painful, and it never would have been possible if he had denied this castle. But he should absolutely be able to fight this now. LichKing getting the second armor for his knights. It's a little bit delayed, in my opinion. What is Hydur doing? He's just kind of letting the LichKing destroy his stables. I disagree with that. Probably wants to wait for Cavalier to come in before upgrades, or before fighting, but he can't afford to lose all of his stables. And a second castle coming down here for the LichKing, just OP pole stuff. He needs to eject his cap rams to take this castle down. He is severely outnumbered, but he is going to get Cavalier here. For like 5 Cavalier that he has left. Hydur is running out of gold. He's building more stables in the back. These knights are going to help themselves inside, and now it is Hydur's turn to get raided. These Cavalier are weak, but they are going on a raiding party. Hydur is up to 92 villagers, some of them idle. LichKing is nowhere near Imperial Age, and he knows that he doesn't have time to get Imperial Age. Hydur's selling wood for gold now. He is off gold. His gold is draining. And the Cavalier are going to clean that up. But there are smaller parties involved. There are little pockets of villagers scattered throughout Hydur's base. He's finished taking his gold here. He needs to move on to the stone. Hydur's siege workshop with 5 cap rams in it. He has 2 castles sitting on his production buildings. Hydur, I feel, has not really respected this map. He has not been proactive in securing important parts of the map. He's neither gone after the monks in the middle, nor has he gone after the stone in the middle. But he does have a good group of Cavalier. So his second barracks is going down. He has destroyed the knights that are in his base, and I think he's going to counterattack soon. At least I hope he does. Selling food for gold, so you can tell that he's pressed for gold. These villagers still idle. He is housed, and we're going to have a big fight here. Some Castle Age Knights and Imperial Age Cavalier, and this is the point, yeah, this is the point where the rams should come out. What are you doing? Protect your rams from the obuks. Don't let the obuks have the rams. There we go. Alright, so he does have to fight that. So Hydur's faster Imperial Age is paying off. LichKing did have some good numbers here, but being behind in technology really hurt. LichKing needs to click up as soon as possible. LichKing does have a fantastic amount of map control, though. But he may have to go pikeman himself. He got Sislata privileges, so his knights would cost less gold. But he's run out of gas. 0 castles to 5+ here. Imp should carry through here, I think. Especially because LichKing has only 9 military. I don't know where it is. But these knights have now all Imperial Age armor upgrades, so they're only going to be tickled by arrow fire. Castle arrow fire is still nasty, but these knights and these rams should be able to take down the castles that are in the middle. And not a moment too soon as well. Hydur is pretty much completely out of gold. He desperately needs to push out across the map to get gold somewhere else. He cannot afford to make more Cavalier and rams. Gotta abuse the market. Is he trying to transition into... strange. Cav Archer switch is quite bizarre. I've noticed him getting fletching too. I guess he's doing it for the obuks. I mean, I understand, but He's not going to have time. He doesn't have the gold for a tech switch like that. So Hydur, yo, Hydur, fight this. Don't give these rams away. And these rams go down, and suddenly Hydur loses all reason to rush to the center of the map. It's too late. There's no reason to fight this anymore. And yes, he leaves. What Hydur could consider doing is maybe... LichKing has so many castles in his eco. Can't raid. Hydur going out to the neutral golds. He needs to take stone, maybe get a castle of his own up, and then treb this down. These Obuks do not want to run under castle fire. LichKing is almost to imp, though. This is almost even. So Hydur with 23 on gold now, had negative gold for a short time, and what's it going to be? More capped rams. So LichKing getting Cavalier immediately. He won't get the next armor for these Cavalier. So Hydur deciding, let's go massacre some more villagers, and is ripping through LichKing's base. That's going to be harder because LichKing has castles everywhere. But Hydur does have the Cavalier necessary to dive town centers, but they're taking arrow fire from 2 or 3 castles at a time, so that's never fun for Cavalier. And he could come back here and punish this gold, but I don't know if he knows about it. No, he does. He does know about that gold. So he might go back there. That's where I would go. Okay, LichKing should see this coming and pull his villagers off the gold. He does. LichKing fighting these knights before their Cavalier. And that gave... Okay, it gave LichKing some time. So now that he's over here, LichKing's gone. But the economy... smaller for LichKing. You know, he's only got 67 villagers to Hydur's 108. We've got some full work eco, and we have some more stables coming up for the LichKing. The LichKing with only 10 on stone here. And Hydur just running around with a bunch of Cavalier. Looks like he is going massively into Hussar eco, though. He's getting Thumb Ring. Oh, he still wants the Cav Archers. He wants all the Magyar options. He's prepared a lot of cavalry here to help protect these rams this time. And these Cavalier are going to find this gold, certainly. Yeah, LichKing knows it. He knows he can't take gold there. LichKing doing really well with this stone initially. But not walling up cost him a lot of villagers and ultimately put him behind. If we figure that LichKing had 20 villagers on stone for most of this game, although he only has 11 now, let's say that he had 20. Then that's 10 free villagers on gold, but he's lost 54 villagers so far, and he had lost way more than that. So these rams are going to come in, take down the castle, and this is looking to be Hydur's game. Blue idle time adding up. That's true, Ronald Wade. And Hydur needs to come back here and crush this. Don't let LichKing win this fight and then snipe the rams again, because he does not have the gold to waste. Alright, here he comes. But I think that Hydur's rams are dead now. Maybe not. He did make it in time, it wasn't far. Stable going down, castle survives. Got 2 more rams moving toward it. Big cavalry fight. And we need another siege weapon, but I don't know if we're going to get it. But LichKing calls it at negative 55 gold. So he knows that even though the castle is still standing and the town center is still here, he can't take this stone. And I guess he could have gone back on this gold, but he didn't feel comfortable doing so, lest he be raided. So Hydur taking the win here. Where was Hydur going? Maybe he was going to take this gold. So Hydur, both players ignored the monks in the middle. But LichKing going on the stone, but just left himself open to so many raids that he was not able to win, unfortunately. Or, well, fortunately for us, because we get to see another one, but it makes me feel sad to see someone play the map and then have it not work the way that it was intended. But well played to Hydur, using the Magyar bonuses, walling up, not making the same mistake last time. So he definitely learned, and he prevented much of this damage. It left him free to go and raid his opponent while his opponent was trying to get in. So in that sense, he did outplay LichKing for sure. So let's go see the next game. What do you guys think? See, the next game is Nomad. That is LichKing's home map. Okay, so this is the Socotra-sized Nomad, the smallest version of Nomad that is possible for generation. And so it'll be interesting to see what the players make of it. We have Hydur playing as the Malians and LichKing playing as the Spanish. You get a free transport ship in the corner, and Hydur is already going to start exploring with this. Try to find his opponent's dock and such. Both players wandering around looking for a place to build their town center. LichKing has started on making a town center up here in the north, or a dock, I should say. And Hydur's dock is going to be down here. You start with 50 extra wood on this map, so you can afford a town center, a dock, a house, and a fishing ship, similar to the Persians. Except the Persians get 50 more than that. So Hydur putting down his town center here, LichKing putting down his town center here. So both players pretty close to in the center. This is going to be quite a bit of action here, I already know. And they both have the opportunity to expand backward. But what's interesting is that they are all kind of like in front of each other's docks, right? LichKing is between Hydur's dock and Hydur's town center, and Hydur's town center is between LichKing's dock and LichKing's town center. So we need to give Hydur the win from last game. Okay, so town center goes up, villagers queued, LichKing with only 1 second of idle time, and Hydur should get his town center up pretty soon. Start making some billies. So the smallest magnification, ooh, is Hydur going to find this? Or no, Hydur, this is Hydur, so of course he's going to find it. He's looking though, he's looking for the LichKing's dock. So it looks like he's going straight out to wood. Let's see what everybody knows, because that's always a good question on Nomad. So LichKing is exploring around. He does not know where Hydur's dock is, and he doesn't even know where Hydur's TC is. And let's see what Hydur knows. So Hydur does not know where LichKing's town center is either, or dock. Wait. Nope, he doesn't know. Spanish probably best civ here with that plus 50 wood. Perhaps. Getting that free fishing ship certainly helps. Okay, so LichKing bringing in his first boar. So starting on the boar sooner. Does have a fishing ship out, making another. So villager count is 9 to 9. Okay, Hydur gets his first boar in as well. So each of the trees in Irish Nomad are 350 wood. The gold piles are 3k, and the stone piles are 1.7k. So the resource piles in general are very large, and that is what allows them to be fewer. So there are fewer because in some generations of this map, it can be hard to find a town center location. So the forests, the resource piles were all made smaller to make it easier to build these town centers. And even then, it's still kind of challenging. The relics are all on little islands off the coast of Irish Nomad, so you can pick those up. That is one of the reasons why you start with that free transport. That, and you can use the transport ship to do sneak attacks on your opponent. So let's see what Hydur knows. Hydur still does not know where the LichKing is. Although he probably has figured out that this is among the smaller versions of Irish Nomad. So he should know that he'll have fewer places that he has to look. Let's see what the LichKing knows. So the LichKing knows where Hydur is. He knows he lost something over here, and on the mini-map probably sees the town center. It doesn't look exactly like this in the game, but he'll still know. That's smart, making the pile small and rich. Well, the players find it annoying, Ronald Rage, because it's less efficient to gather from it. Like, you can't fit as many villagers around this gold pile as you could a big gold pile. So we have a mining camp coming up for Hydur already on stone. This is interesting. Both players are at 1 military, so neither one has deleted their fishing ship, but LichKing with a villager advantage. LichKing with a villager advantage. Hydur with only 1 second of town center idle time. LichKing with 49. So I wonder if Hydur is going to tower rush. Yeah, he's at 20 pop. He's getting loom. I think this is a tower rush from Hydur. And that makes this really interesting. Does Hydur know where the LichKing is? No, he technically does not know where the LichKing is. He knows where the LichKing's dock is. But maybe he does. Maybe he somehow figured it out another way and we just can't tell. So LichKing's still on his way up. This version of Nomad is so open and dangerous. If you're up against Spanish, you want to try to like wall up and prevent the conks from roaming around. So you really need to be careful about where you put your walls, about where you put your castles. I mean, it can add up. If LichKing gets Castle Age and like Castle drops this town center and then makes 3 conks and runs around everywhere else and picks off Hydur's stone mining villagers that are helping him get 650 stone because he's just at 617, you lose, even though you're that close. Like, the simplest little mistake will really cost you on this map. This is a very unforgiving map. Especially when it's the smaller magnification like this. But then again, being a smaller magnification means it's also easier to wall up. So I don't know what we're going to see here from Hydur. Okay, yeah, we got a barracks from Hydur. So this is man-at-arms plus towers on this map. And Hydur still does not know where the LichKing is, but he knows all the places the LichKing is not. So it's not going to take him long to search this area. He's already building outposts. So we can tell that Hydur wants a man-at-arms tower rush. And these villagers are coming forward, probably to build a tower, build an outpost. And militia are being made. LichKing is on his way to the feudal age, and this should be really entertaining. So this outpost going up is going to tell Hydur that his opponent is taking stone here. He has a man-at-arms, but he is just finding the town center now the hard way. So he is going to have to like build a little stone wall pocket and then build a tower on top of the stone. Does not want LichKing to get the stone to build a castle. So that would be really bad for him. So build a tower right here. Range that stone. We know he wants to. He's making another militia. There it is. Now he needs a stone wall in front of this. Otherwise his opponent is just going to come batter it down. So the Spanish villagers are going to be building this tower. And he bails because he knows he can't build faster than Spanish villagers. And that tower is at the base of this town center, so he can't even charge it. So he's instead going to build a cheeky tower here. And this cheeky tower should still be able to prevent the LichKing from taking this stone. At least, unless if he gets fletching, it will. We have 1 militia here. LichKing sees it and is going to counter tower in this location as well. Is Hydur going to be able to deny this tower though? Well, he's not going to bail because he's already mostly up with this tower. But Spanish just builds so fast; it's kind of ridiculous. Now both players get their towers up, but LichKing is on a hill. Hydur is not, so Hydur needs to dive this tower with his villagers, and yep, that's what he's going to do. He's also going to tap some stone walls around the base of his own tower to prevent his opponent from diving it. And LichKing isn't paying attention. This villager is going to get these up. Okay, he is paying attention now, and he garrisons this tower to kill Hydur's villagers. So Hydur looking to tower rush the Spanish. It's tough tower rushing the Spanish, though. They can build faster than you. And he just wants to disrupt this. He needed a sneaky tower first, I think, and then to build a tower here. But instead he kind of revealed his plans. And the LichKing has the resources to click up to the next stage, but he does not have buildings, actually. Some villagers going down for LichKing, I think. LichKing is fish booming. Got 3... Okay, no more fishing ships. Hydur is the one that's... Or no, LichKing, sorry, is up here. So LichKing has so many fishing ships. Hydur only has a few. We got a militia, now we got a range, and what's the plan here? Make some archers, but go where? LichKing has the resources to click up, but he hasn't because he needs wood. He needs wood to build his buildings. He doesn't even have a mill, so he can't build a market. Oh wait, he has a mill right here. Never mind. So he can build a market, and he needs a blacksmith too. So Hydur coming out this way, maybe he can disrupt the gold mining operation. Yes, that is exactly the plan. And to use the archers to garrison inside of buildings. He still does not have a blacksmith. Let's see what the LichKing's knowledge of the map is. So he doesn't have a blacksmith, and he doesn't exactly know. Well, he does actually. He knows exactly where Hydur is. So this tower goes up. This will take the LichKing off of gold. The LichKing's going to have to find another gold supply. Although, honestly, this is enough gold even to make enough conks to win the game. He'll be spending 200 of it on gold to click up to the next stage. And he desperately needs wood so that he can build that blacksmith and click up. So I've just been doing a good job of keeping him occupied. LichKing really benefiting, though, from these fishing ships. Hydur should consider making a few fires to sink this, but he is very preoccupied with the tower rush. It looks like he wants to maybe batter it down? I don't know. No, he's going to counter tower because he's Spanish, and Spanish always win the counter tower. They'll always get their counter tower. So, blacksmith going up, LichKing is going to the next stage. Hydur is nowhere near. Archers coming out. The good news is that these archers will not only help Hydur, like, kill villagers. Like, he could come around. Hydur should totally come around here and just kill these villagers right here. But they'll also be good against conquistadors. So Hydur has not gotten fletching yet, which hurts. He does have some excess gold. If he had a market, he could buy some food. Reminds me of Cannon Rush a little, haha. So these archers need to come around here and hit the berries. Does Hydur know about those berries? He's got scouts too. Probably knows about, yeah, he knows all about the berries. And he needs to deny this tower is a mistake from the LichKing. There's too much military here. I don't even think the Spanish can get this up. LichKing is losing villagers left and right to Hydur. But all the archers went down to this tower. These scouts cannot range the base of that tower, which is unfortunate for Hydur. It's just barely in range. Hydur knows everything that the LichKing has. The LichKing is completely surrounded. He does not have the stone to build a castle, though. So I don't know if the LichKing abused the market or something. The scouts are all over him. But he's castle age. So that's a start. And there's nothing stopping him from taking stone now. He has secured his stone. Hydur building a market, recognizing the situation, wants to get castle age himself. These scouts, are they going to pick off another villager? No, they do not. But there are a lot of weak villagers here for Hydur. And he is buying some food and wants to click up to castle age himself. He's taking a lot of stone and a lot of gold. And LichKing is getting close to building that castle. There it is. There's the stone. Here it comes. I'm going to drop his castle on the opponent. There are some militia here. You can't counter tower a Spanish castle drop, unfortunately. Nope, not going to happen. You need to give this area of the map away. Gonna Bill fight. Try to prevent it. Still buying some more food. This castle is going up, unfortunately, for Hydur. So he builds the tower and then bails. Losing some villagers. How many villagers has Hydur lost to that? So LichKing has killed 16 villagers, so Hydur's lost 16. But LichKing has lost 10 villagers himself. Now Hydur is clicking Castle Age. And LichKing will surely start making conquistadors at this point. So Hydur moving off this way. I don't know what this was about. Snuck some villagers around, maybe. And now going on gold over here so that he can make conquistadors. He already has 1 conquistador in the castle and is making 2 more. So 3 conquistadors running around will be more than enough to kill villagers in 1 shot. So LichKing coming back, looking for some trouble. Hydur, of course, is wide open because he did not wall. And now villagers are going to start dropping. So I think this is going to be Castle Age into GG. Hydur is completely shut down. He's in his town center now. He's got 20 villagers, 5 over here, and the town center is completely filled up. He has more villagers queued up behind Castle Age. This has been a fantastic game. Hydur just not quite doing it with the tower rush. Just not quite. Unfortunately for him, this stone was in range of LichKing's town center. He built it there on purpose. And he may have been able to surprise LichKing with a tower here, but it just didn't quite work out for him. So he is now Castle Age. He could maybe make skirms, but he's so wide open that the conquistadors are everywhere. And he can't go out. He doesn't want to give up. This is the game match. You know, this game will determine the outcome of the match. And he manages to keep his town center up, but how much longer is this going to go on? LichKing can camp here all day. Start taking down these villagers. Spanish on Nomad are brutal. Spanish Eco with that fishing ship could be OP, I don't know. Villager fighting these conks. He's got 12 villagers to 39. The other thing he didn't do was he didn't sink these fishing ships. And Hydur calls the GG. Good luck next. So LichKing taking the 3rd game. This has been a really entertaining set for sure. Ronald Rage says, Cannon's a cheesy StarCraft 2 strat, by the way. Well, I wouldn't know anything about StarCraft. I've never played it, but I understand that it is very similar to Age of Empires. But this was a good game. I think Hydur made some mistakes. He didn't wall off and secure his area of the map. He should have just assumed that that the Spanish were going to go Castle Age and that there would be conks out and prepare skirmishers. He did do this tower rush. It was good, but it did not quite do the damage that it needed to do to prevent the LichKing from getting Castle Age first. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm by no means an expert at Age of Empires. We have the benefit of omnipotence, seeing the whole map, and I designed the map. So let me know your feedback. But we are sad to see Hydur go. He's been a very loyal viewer in Stig's channel, watching all the games as they are played out and cast on Twitch. And LichKing, we don't know much about him. He's a Russian player. We really appreciate him signing up. We're sad to say farewell to Hydur, but we have huge respect for him signing up for a tough tournament like this with very challenging maps. And we congratulate LichKing on moving forward, and we're looking forward to see what he comes up with. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you again soon. We're probably going to do another cast here shortly, but we'll see here. I've got a lot of sets to go through, so lots more content. But I'm going to check because I don't want to compete with the main Irish channel. So if he starts casting, I'll probably go in to support him. But we've made a lot of good progress today. We did a bunch of sets. So if not today, definitely tomorrow. And thank you for tuning in. Hopefully I will see you again soon.